All right. Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm here because I have a few things I got to sharpen, and I'm gonna sharpen most of my stuff to be honest. Well, not really uh everything I have, but there is some stuff that I want sharpened, and I thought that I could do a video on this because uh I'm I was just thinking about this the other day, and I did do a video on this in the past or previously. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it up while I talk. And maybe I didn't. Um, I guess I didn't record anything. No, I guess I didn't. Um, well, any case, I'm gonna do it now. uh, so I have a pair of scissors that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do, to be honest. Because I would have to take out this pin, and I don't really want to screw anything up by trying to take it apart. I mean, it's not my first time taking apart a pair of scissors, but it's just the fact that I really can't get anything under it. Um, but I guess my dad was trying to cut something with it, and it wouldn't cut. And when I was running my hand across the edge, um, I shouldn't be able to do this. I'm not getting cut, and it needs to be sharpened. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be not fully doing my USCCA knife, but I am going to be sharpening it a little bit because I've been using it and haven't really done much to it. This knife is what I usually carry every day, and it might be a little hard to tell. As long as okay, so towards the top of where my pinky is, I had to do something over at my aunt's house this weekend, and I destroyed the edge. There's chips in the metals and all that. And then to finish, even though I did it when I got this, I've used it a few times and I haven't stropped it um yet. But I am gonna finish this up and sharpen it a little bit. I'm not gonna strap it today, but I am going to next time before I use it. And I'm gonna be using two different type of stones. And the reason is because this knife I have to reprofile the top of the blade. So I'm just gonna do the whole edge. And that's gonna be done with my oil stone because this is coarse, or no, this is coarse, and it's easier for me to reprofile with it. And then some people are gonna laugh at me for this, but I also have a briefcase, or not a briefcase, but a case full of stones. These are Japanese water stones, and the reason why I'm not using any of these for that knife is because even there's a 240 grit, and it's not really that coarse. Although I may try to use it because it's a 240 and a 600. The 600 though, yeah, the 600 is smooth. So I think I'm just gonna stick with my coarse grit on this oil stone. So while I'm setting up, I'm gonna put two of the wet stones in the water. I also have a water bottle so I can keep the stone wet. And while I get set up, let me pause for a bit. Okay, so before I actually do anything with this stone, this is a 5,000, 10,000. This is what I'll be used to finish all three of my knives. I'm not going to finish uh the knife or the scissors with it. Um but I am going to use the 1,000, 3,000 on the scissors, as well as the two knives, and the straight razor will only be the 5 and 10,000. So I'm gonna put this in here. And before I do anything with that 5,000, I am going to be using this. This is it's a little stone that you use to kind of straighten out the other stones, which I'm going to do on this towel after I'm done with everything, because it needs to be flattened. When I sharpened my razor, when I got it, it didn't really sharpen that great. So for now, I'm gonna put this down here, and I'm gonna move my camera. So I know the angle is a little weird, and I apologize if anything gets in the way. Like my microphone. Trying to think of the best place to put my microphone so I can actually use it. But anyway, for this stone, I'm just gonna put this little towel underneath so that none of the oil gets on my desk. Doesn't need to be perfectly set down because I'm gonna be keeping it on the little block. So I'm really trying to think about which solution I want to use. This is the one that came with the stone, and this is the one that I bought because this is what I used to use at work, and it helped glide the edge quite nicely. Um, Also, if I seem a little loud, it's because in post I ended up upping the volume of my microphone, because I always forget that I can do that, and I never really mess around with it too much. My camera, on the other hand, I do have a privacy cover on it, so if it falls down, I will fix whatever I need to. I think I'm just gonna use this because it's cheap. This stuff is like $3 or $4, at least the last time I checked on Amazon. But all the equipment I use, including the water stones and this stone, um, the two solutions, um, and both knives, except for this one, will be linked down below in the description. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this knife. I'm gonna rinse it off a little bit. And then it is always a good idea to have towels. So I do usually keep towels in here with my sharpening stuff because, especially like the oil and all that, it's a bitch to use sometimes. Um, I'm also trying to think if I want to show you guys anything else because I was thinking about stropping both my pocket knives after I was done with this, but I don't know. All right, so let's get this rolling because I don't want to be stuck doing this all day, even though I don't really mind. So you don't have to use as much as I do, but this stone soaks it up a lot. So I do use a little bit more than I should. And then I'll put some on the edge. In terms of angles, I don't know what I usually do because I am so used to doing this that I just have like a little like muscle memory of doing it. I'm gonna add some more. This is also why I like using the Smith's uh brand because it's cheap and you can use whatever and not break the bank by getting more. Okay. I decided I am gonna use this. And I know some people that actually sharpen knives are gonna say I'm using too much or I shouldn't mix the two. But I've never had any problems, and I know people that do this quite a bit, and I've talked to them, and they've never had any issues either. But this is the other reason why I like using the Nortons. Uh, uh, oil because the stone doesn't absorb it like the Smiths. So if you don't know, the reason why I keep checking it is because I'm checking for the burr. The burr is the metal. It hangs over the edge when you sharpen the sides. So I'm trying to get it straight. All right. So then after I have it pretty straight, I'm gonna add just a little bit, not too much more oil, and just go one side at a time. So just from this coarse stone, I forgot what grit it's supposed to be, but I've already got it pretty sharp. But I already have the little nick in the blade taken out and done. I just need to wipe this off so I can check for a burr. And be very careful when you're wiping off a blade. Don't do it with the edge and the towel. Do it away. Some people might think that's common knowledge, but a lot of people do it that way and end up cutting themselves. I know because I've cut myself doing that when I was working over at a grocery store. And if you're wondering what I'm doing with my fingernail, if it scrapes against like that and it's, taking off your nail, that means it's not sharp. But when you press it down and it catches, that means it's very sharp. So I got that done. I'll wash that off in a few minutes. I'm gonna pat down my stone. And the reason why I don't use these stones to really um uh sharpen anything is because they're very low on the grit. Um it's got the coarse, a medium, and an Arkansas, which is the fine, which I think this is only like 1100 grit. While I think this is 600 and the course is 250, 240, something like that. So I've got that done. Put that back in my box. Those to the side. And move this towel. And now it's time to start doing stuff on the wet stones. Um, I thought about it, and I think I am gonna show you guys my strop. I'm gonna put compound on it, and I gotta clean this too. Um, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I do have my water bottle, and I do usually poke a hole in the cap just to make it easier for me to control how much water comes out. So, side. So I'm starting on the 1000 grit, and I'm gonna do my pocket knife first. So a lot of these have a stand and everything, which you can use. That's fine. I most of the time don't because I don't like making a mess, which is why I have the towel here. Okay, so this ain't sharp. So I'm gonna just sharpen this. Some other stones actually stay hydrated more often than others. Mine don't really. That's why you'll see me watering mine quite a bit. Also, when it comes to checking for a burr, if you wipe your blade off like I do, you will hear it actually catch on the towel. So you'll know if there's a burr or not. I mean, as of right now, feels okay, so I'm just gonna do a few more passes. A good rule too is keep your angles consistent. Um, a lot of these kits, these whetstone kits, come with a angle guide, and most of them, if not all of them, are about 20 degrees, which is good for knives like this and all that stuff. So don't feel any shame in using it because I used mine all the time. Um, so just from the 1,000 grit stone, you can see that it's catching, except for some spots. So the reason you want to keep uh these stones wet is because if you start sharpening it on a dry if you start sharpening something on a dry stone, it's going to ruin the stone. So it's always good to keep these hydrated. And you also might see me angling down a little bit more sometimes. It's because over the past like maybe year for sharpening, I've changed the angle on this knife quite a few times. Um I don't know what it's at about right now. But if I had to guess, it'd probably be about anywhere between 18 and 20. Because like I said, I have changed it quite a bit. So there's some reason it's not sharpening in a certain spot. So no burr. Okay, that is better. All right. So I'm gonna stick this in the water for a sec, just to get some hydrating going on, and then I'm gonna work on this. And then after I'm done with these, I'm gonna flip the stone over, and then work on this knife again and the scissors, and then we'll move on to the. We'll actually move on to this because I want to do this on the other side of that stone, which I think I said it was a 3,000. Because this, well, no, maybe I will do the 1,000 because I had to reprofile the edge. So, all right, let's take this out. So, actually, now that I think about it, because of how I have the towel, I might not be able to do this unless I can somehow pop this out. By the way, what I'm doing is very dangerous. Never put a blade into you. That should talk about common knowledge. That should be common. Okay, so I can't do that. So that's okay because I have some other stuff that I could use for that. Um, so let me just go ahead and do this knife then. That way I can just speed this up a little bit. So you don't need to really over sharpen or overuse any of these stones. For the most part, I do just to make sure that everything is about even. So now that that's done, Flip it over to the 3000 side. And don't be afraid, like if you use stones like this, like if it starts changing color, that's just the metal that's shaving off. I believe that I can't remember. So another thing that I can mention, when it comes to sharpening stones, the way I do it, um, I go for as long as I need to, but I'll do it until the edge is just about perfectly straight, meaning that there's no burr on either side, and and then I will just start doing something like this, like you saw me, just going back and forth, flip back and forth. I used to do it to where I used to count how many times I did stuff, but I found out that that method really doesn't do too much. So I just sharpen it until I feel like it's sharp enough, and then I'll move on. So another thing that I'm trying to figure out if I want to do yet is just show you guys like how well they cut. Um, that's only if I feel like doing it. The, if I want to, I'll include it towards the end. I know there's really not much to go off of, but you can still see just by sharpening, whatever, how sharp you can actually get things. Uh, None of these besides this knife has ever been hair shaving sharp. Also, the more comfortable that you become with stuff, the faster you can actually get it done, which is why you're starting to see me pick up the pace a little. You'll also notice when your stone needs water because you can just tell by how it sounds. Cool. All right, so these are done. I am going to put that back in there for now. Um, all right, and then I am going to pause for a few because I'm going to try and flatten this next stone down a little bit, and then I will return. All right, so as you can tell, it kind of got places. Um, I would recommend not doing this on anything you like. Do it on a towel, like an old towel or something, or hell, even in the sink, because it might stain some stuff and might ruin a few things. I like this shirt, and I got a little spot on here, so I'm not gonna worry about it because I'm sure it'll come out, but I'm not. I don't wear this shirt enough to really care. But if you're wondering, like how it pretty much works, is you soak this in the water, same thing as the regular stone, and then you just shave the stone until it's pretty flat. Also, watch out for well, like I was gonna say, watch out for your clothes if you do it. What I ended up doing is that towel I just had. I put it on my shirt like a bib, and it actually really helped. So I'm gonna put that off to the side. All right. So now we'll finish everything up. I got this pretty flat. However, I will have to do some more later. Probably before the next time I actually sharpen something. So let's just go ahead and sharpen the rest just so I can get this done. I can tell how much flatter it is now. Like I said, I could tell how much flatter it is, but it's still not great. That's why I'm not using the whole stone, but it works. All right. So still might be a little hard to tell. Okay, so towards the top where the chip and discoloration was is now gone, and everything is nice and straight for that. Uh I'm going to put this back in here for a sec. So everything that I use in this video is going to be in the description. One of which is this. This is I know the camera won't focus on it. This is a food safe uh pretty much like a rust protector. So you can get this on Amazon, which is where I got this. All you need is like one drop, and then just spread it around with a little towel that it comes with, which is this. And your blade should be fine for a while. All right. Some people protect the spine on theirs. I'm not too worried about it. Um, I also sharpen my straight razors different than some people. So the reason I'm not utilizing the full stone for this is because I want it to be even, and I know the dip is over here, so I know that if I don't go past a certain mark, it's not gonna divot and ruin something. So that's why I'm only using one of the sides for this, or I would say probably about half the stone. Now, because this razor is a full hollow grind, which just means, you know, this like how wide it is. You can sharpen it on a stone more often than you could with a half hollow grind. Although I still really wouldn't recommend sharpening a straight razor on a stone um more than every few months, maybe even every 6 months, depending on how often you use it and if you strop in it correctly and everything. Like I said, I'm not gonna strop mine today, but maybe the next time I do a shave with this, I can show you because I have razor bumps and all that right now. So until these go away, I can't shave with this. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. All right, so I've got that done. Now I'm just gonna speed this up to do the other two, and then I'm gonna be done, and then I'll do my final talking. These, by the way, aren't gonna take me as much time as the straight razor did. The straight razor, I just wanted to be thorough with it because the edge was giving me some problems. All right, so while I let this soak again, because I'm definitely gonna have to. See, this is the reason why I like having towels there because it's not wet under here, and there's no mess other than the towel, which is fine. All right, so at least not in this video. I'm not gonna use this. I'll still have it linked below though, just so you guys can check it out. Um, Otherwise, I mean, sharpening is a very easy process, apparently, except for straight razors. I don't know why this is giving me so much issues shaving, because it shaves my face just fine. Which, actually, yeah, I can feel it hitting hairs. So, maybe it's just my arm hair, because I tried it on my leg, too, and it works perfectly fine. So, yeah, anyway, if anybody has any questions about any of this down below, put it in the comments. But for this stuff, I'll just show you on one knife, just so I can wrap this up. You take an end, finger, take a knife, one, maybe 2 drops. Also, don't do it the way I'm doing it, because I'm doing it with the blade this way. And you just spread it around. I mean, you don't wipe it off, but you spread it around the blade. Helps with rust. Do it on the other side. And don't worry, I'm gonna completely wash this off after I leave. I just am doing this so I can show you. And then you can leave it pretty much wherever. It'll leave kind of like a shiny finish, looking like there's some type of like oil or something on it, which is what that is. And that's pretty much it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button. Also hit subscribe. Go check out my other channels. Those will be linked down below as well. And I'll see you guys later.